Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the simple but surprisingly powerful math behind building real wealth. And what's interesting is, it's a force that works so quietly at first, you might not even notice it's there. So let's just start with a question I think we've all felt at some point. Why does building wealth feel so ridiculously slow? Almost impossible. You're doing the right things. You're saving, you're investing, but for what feels like forever, that needle just barely seems to move. It's frustrating, right? Well, the source we're digging into today shows that the answer isn't some secret stock tip or just about making more money. No, it's about a fundamental force of nature, really. And once you truly get it, really understand it, it changes the entire game. Okay, let's jump right in. Section 1, the financial superpower. And we're calling it that for a reason. It's this quiet, almost invisible force that's constantly working in the background, literally reshaping your financial future while you sleep. Our source just lays it out perfectly. Compound interest is one of the most powerful financial forces in existence, yet most people never truly understand how it works. And that gap, that little space between knowing the term and truly understanding it, that's exactly what we're going to close right now. So how does this superpower actually work? What's the mechanism? That brings us to Section 2, the compounding engine. This is where we see how incredibly small beginnings can, over time, lead to some truly dramatic, jaw-dropping growth. At its heart, the idea is so simple. Compound interest is just the process where your investment returns start to earn their own returns. Think about that. It's not just your original money working for you anymore. Now, the earnings from your money also get up and go to work, creating this incredible chain reaction of growth. And this is that beautiful chain reaction in action. It's a simple, powerful loop. Step 1, you invest. Step 2, that money earns returns. Step 3, and this is key, you put those returns right back in. And then step 4, that's the magic. Your returns start earning their own returns. That little cycle is the engine that drives everything. And this is why it's so different from how we normally think about growth. On the left, you've got linear growth. That's like adding $5 to a piggy bank every week. It's steady, predictable. But on the right, that's exponential growth. That's a snowball rolling downhill. It doesn't just get bigger. The speed at which it gets bigger is also increasing. It accelerates. Now, this is where the psychology kicks in. And honestly, it's why so many people get discouraged and quit way too early. Let's call this Section 3, the 2-act play. Because the beginning of this journey feels completely, and I mean completely different from the end. And our source is brutally honest about this part. The early stages of investing often feel disappointing. They feel unmotivating. The progress is so tiny that it's just so easy to throw your hands up and go, is this even working? What's the point? Okay, so check this out. This is Act 1, the slow start. Look at the bars for year 1, year 5, even year 10. You can see the growth, sure, but it's kind of boring, right? It's not life-changing. This is the foundation laying period. It is without a doubt the most important part, but it's also the most tedious. This is where the patience comes in. But then, if you stick it out, Act 2 begins. And this is the transformation. Just look at the difference in the bars for year 20, 25, and 30. The growth is explosive. It's dramatic. The gains in just those later years can completely dwarf all the gains from the first decade or two combined. That's the compounding engine finally hitting top speed. That's the payoff for all that early patience. So if that's where we want to end up, how do we make sure we get there? All right, let's get into the practical stuff in Section 4, the 3 golden rules. Think of this as the code, the operating manual for unlocking all that power. And these rules, straight from our source, are so simple, but they are absolutely non-negotiable. Rule number 1, patience is your greatest weapon. You're not trying to get rich quick. Rule 2, consistency beats intensity. Small, regular contributions over a long time are way more powerful than big, sporadic ones. And Rule 3, discipline is everything. You have to leave the money alone and let the engine do its work. Let me tell you a quick story to really drive this home. Imagine 2 investors. The first one is the early, consistent investor. They start at age 25, investing just a couple $100 a month. Then you have the late, intense investor. They wait until 35, but they invest double the amount every month to try and catch up. So who do you think has more money at retirement? It's not even close. The early, consistent person ends up with way, way more. But why? Because of this one simple, powerful truth. Time is the true multiplier. That's it. Time is the most critical ingredient in the whole recipe. It's the fuel. More time simply allows that chain reaction to run through more and more cycles. And that's what leads to that explosive growth we saw back in Act 2. And that brings us right back to that critical third rule: discipline. The biggest enemy of compounding is interruption. Every single time you make a withdrawal or, panic and sell when the market gets shaky, you are breaking that chain reaction. You're basically forcing that snowball to stop, melt a little, and then start rolling all over again from a smaller size. You're just killing its momentum. So, you see, getting this isn't just about the math. It's about a fundamental shift in how you think. And that brings us to our final section: your new financial mindset. It's about seeing your money and time in a completely new light. Because here's the core shift. Once you really, truly grasp compounding, investing stops feeling like this optional thing you should do, and it starts feeling absolutely essential. You realize that every dollar you don't invest today is a dollar that's missing out on its potential to grow into many, many more dollars in the future. And this quote from our source just sums it all up beautifully. Wealth is rarely created through dramatic financial wins, but through the quiet patience of allowing compounding to work. It's not about finding that one lucky stock that goes to the moon. It's about planting a small tree and having the quiet patience to let it grow into a giant oak. Look, what you're really doing is giving a gift to your future self. And trust me, they are absolutely going to thank you for it. So the only question left, really, is the one right here on your screen. When are you going to start?